how to find a proper YouTube channel name, and how to get ideas for a proper YouTube channel name. I noticed that a lot of videos around the topic how to choose a good YouTube channel name focus on the requirements. So the YouTube channel name has to be easy, has to be short, and mask that as tips. But these tips actually hold you back because you can't think freely in a creative process. So in this video I'm going to take a different approach. I'll show you 5 easy and actionable steps to get so many YouTube channel ideas that you have the luxury to cross off the ones that don't meet the requirements. Tips. And of course in the end I'm going to give you some tips as well. My name is Dexter Clark from the Netherlands and I'd love to be your guide in your journey on starting a YouTube channel. Therefore you have to do only one thing, no, 2 things. Subscribe and hit the bell. If you're still struggling with your YouTube channel topic, it's wise to have nailed that down before you start thinking of a YouTube channel name. I made a video about it and I will put it in the description below. I've researched dozens and dozens of channel names and I came up with 3 categories. First of all, the brand category. Coles Cola, for example. If you have a brand, you should absolutely do that. Second of all, the descriptive kind, like socialvideoplaza.com, for example. The last one is your name, your own name. To be honest, I'm not a fan of that one because if you're not famous, if you don't have an established brand name already like Will Smith, it doesn't help you, it doesn't describe the content. But for example, Social Video Plaza absolutely describes what I'm doing on this channel. If you do want to use your own name, combine it with something descriptive. For example, Josh Hamilton says nothing about what the content is, but Josh Hamilton Gaming, for example, everything about the content. But that can be a little bit more difficult for a vlogging channel. But instead of Josh Hamilton, choose Fun with Josh Hamilton. So the public knows when they are clicking on a video, then it is about fun, it's something positive. Something like my life is too broad, but the life of a procrastinator says everything about you. So the 5 steps to choose a good YouTube channel name. The first one, don't wait for an idea. A YouTube channel name is not important. What I mean is finding the perfect YouTube channel name when you start out is not important, because you can always change it later, and if that is the thing that is holding you back to start out a YouTube channel, it's simply not a valid excuse. Okay, and why would YouTube channel names be important? First of all, they identify who you are. Second of all, they can encourage people to subscribe to your YouTube channel. And third of all, a good YouTube channel name increases the chance of getting discovered by the YouTube search algorithm. If you are not sure yet about your YouTube channel name, hold off with picking a YouTube URL slug. A URL slug is the last part of the URL of YouTube. For example, youtube.com/DexterClark. This is the thing that you will take with you for the next couple of years. And if you have to change that on all your social media and all the websites that are referring to your channel, it's a nightmare. Step number 2. Write down topics associated with your YouTube channel. The idea is to get as many ideas on paper as you can get. This is a brainstorm session, so there's absolutely no room for negativity or bad ideas, because bad ideas can eventually lead to good ideas. So also write down the bad ideas. The trick is to get as many ideas as you can get. 100, 200, preferably even 500. Then we can later choose the best ones. For example, for my music producer channel, this could be music producer, music production, making music, DAW is digital audio workstation, course, tutorial, learning, school, music making, plugins, compressors, sidechaining, waveforms, sound, music, noise, white noise, gate, fade, pop, click, top kick, bass, mix, mixing, LFO, envelope, gear, fader, bit, sample, samples, sample rate, etc. Also think of words that are synonyms of each other. For example, course, class, learning, masterclass, tutorial. Those are all words that mean basically the same thing. The funny thing is that these words are also search terms you can use in your video description or your YouTube channel description. Also, these words can be great video ideas. So getting this right is a double-edged sword. Do this over the course of a week or so. Step number 3, mix and match ideas. Take the list of ideas we had in the previous step and mix them together. Paste them together and see if they make sense. For example, noise gate would make sense, but white noise software not so much. Try to see if you can come up with ideas that make linguistically sense, so don't apply a heavy filter. Do this a couple of minutes a day over the course of a week. To make your life a little bit easier, I've come up with a list of paste words that you can combine with the ideas from step 2. I'll put them down in the description below. Some tips. Tip number 1, for catchy titles, try alliterations. For example, Sample Smashers, Bitmap Bros, Bob's Burgers, that kind of stuff. Tip number 2, paste one of the words we had in step number 2 with your first name or your last name, or maybe you did have a nickname growing up. And the final tip is, I already mentioned it, maybe you have a character trait that is typical for you. Step number 4, make stuff up. It's hard to imagine, but the company name Google is a made-up word. Also, Goop by Gwyneth Paltrow is made up. And I don't think that you can find PewDiePie in the Oxford English Dictionary. Also, you can try to see if you can spell words from the steps earlier phonetically. So, for example, the word business is with 3 S's, but you can write it down also with a Z. Try to come up with as many as you can over the course of a week. Step number 5. Separate the good from the bad and the ugly. Now and only now we are going to filter out the bad ideas. I have some guidelines to help you. First of all, the .com domain name needs to be available. The channel name needs to be somewhat unique. No abbreviations, because they are hard to remember. No difficult words, although fancy words might spark interest or have a special meaning. Be careful, it's a slippery slope. You want people to find you when they type in your name in Google and YouTube. Your name needs to be easy to spell. If someone hears it, they need to know how to spell it. Again, you want people to find you. No words or word combinations that feel too forced. No name that has too many numbers or symbols. The name needs to be short and preferably shorter than 3 syllables. Profanity is out of the question. Although I have to admit that this is exactly my point. It's a funny name for a music production channel, but YouTube and their I guess when you're starting out you want views as fast as possible. Then you should absolutely check out my ultimate beginner's guide right here, and I think that you will also like this video right here. Don't forget to like this video if it was useful to you and subscribe.